something. I'm just having such a tough day today. Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to Boldly Owamie. I like, wow. Yeah, I'm Owamie, and so if it's your first time, you're most definitely welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and join the family. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. That is absolutely crazy. So yeah, let's go ahead and get it, hit that 10k and keep it moving. Now today I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys something that happened a long time ago. I'm someone that if I'm emotionally hurt about something, it takes time for me to actually talk about it. I don't know why. I want to get to a point of healing completely, not completely, but a point of healing before I actually talk about it. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys a video that I recorded, and I recorded this video last year. I think it was last year June. It was absolutely crazy. So for some of you guys that do not know, I do have a nephew. I don't know, like, he's my son. I call him my son. He's my younger sister's son, but I feel like he's our son. But you know, we raised him, all of us, and so he is very dear to my heart. I don't think there's a human I love more than Ryan in this world. Like, even my baby sisters know this, that, you know, he's just, you know, I don't think I've experienced unconditional love until Ryan was born, and I don't know why I'm even starting to get emotional. I love him with my soul. You know, when your soul loves a child, you know, and there's a lot that have happened, like, you know, but yeah. So basically, Ryan got circumcised last year, and when I tell you guys that it was one of the worst experiences that I had to go through, you guys are not even going to understand. I think that sometimes people may think that you are overreacting, but I'm someone that already struggles with mental health. As it is, I have gone through a lot, like 2020, 2021, 2022 shit show. 2023 is gonna be the best year yet, and like, that's on God. Okay, like, we just I'm not having anything negative. And so last day, obviously, I decided that he has to go and get circumcised. For me, obviously, I'm Venda. I feel like it's part of our culture, or our tradition. I do not know, but obviously I was not gonna take him like to the mountain. I was gonna make sure that he's obviously just going to go to a clinic. So I did get a private clinic in Senton, and that's where he got circumcised. I would say the experience that I had there was quite okay. Even though, like, you know, when we were there, I did realize that there was sort of like some difference. So what happened was that, as I said, this is in Senton. People that were going there, you guys, like, it was people that were pulling up. I mean, who creates the bima, the bands, and whatnot, you understand? And mostly it was like a man and a wife, and then the wife would stay in the car, and then the man would go in with the kids as they were getting circumcised. And those children, like, I remember there was this other family where they were getting about 5 children circumcised at the same time. It was their sons, and also I think that 2 were from, I don't know, I think maybe the sisters or something. And so those children, when they were going in, the father was busy just coaching them, you know, this is how we're gonna do it. Yes, my boys, you know, this and this. And they go in, there were no screams, they were fine. They go in there, they get circumcised, guys, they're coming out, and then they're leaving. And I was just standing there, and I was like, oh my gosh. Now obviously, when I went there, it was me and my baby sister, who is Ray's mom. It was and then Ray. Now Ryan is I don't know how to say, you guys, but my child is a soft child. I don't know. He's someone that, like, he gets scared easily, and so I was already just nervous for him, you know, and like, it's a huge thing. Like, when you hear someone say my child is going to get circumcised, it's like, oh, he's gonna get circumcised, that's fine, you know, he's gonna come back. But when it's your child, it's super different. Like, it's a whole different thing. And I don't know why, but I didn't expect to feel the way that I actually felt. Now when time came for Ray to actually go in, it was, now the last people that I had to go in was Ray and another child, and that child also just came with the mother. So it was 2 kids that came with only their mothers. It was Ray and also the child from that lady. And I don't know if there's any correlation, but these two kids were the ones that were screaming the most, you guys. Like, they were crying even before they went in, and like, we were just sitting outside looking at each other like, child, we're about to like go through a really hard time. Now obviously Ryan's mom, you know, she ran away immediately. They said he's going in. Girl ran away, and she's leaving Umam Kulu with the baby. So me, I can't run away, because who's gonna stay with the baby? Who's guys? Yo. Sometimes there are times that I wish I could like swap sisterhoods. Like, where I'd be the younger sister and I have an older sister. Like, this time it was crazy. I just knew that at this point, when they say Musadu Utwara Tipaka Bohad, I had to, you know. And so when I went there, you guys, like, obviously they had to like inject him, which he was screaming. And Ryan, they had to get about like what, 3 men to hold him down, and then the lady that was doing the circumcision. And at this point, I could see my son, guys. My son felt like he was so scared. His heart was beating so fast. And so due to the fact that he was screaming, obviously the first thing that they did was they injected him to make sure that he's not gonna feel the pain. And so at this point, I had to go to like his head, and I was holding his hand, you know. As I was holding his hand, they are like literally pinning him down, and they are also like pinning like his whole body down, and I had to hold his hand, and I'm also like by his face, so that, you know, he's not looking, because obviously there's gonna be blood and everything. Guys, it was honestly just torture. It was just torture. He screamed throughout the whole process. So at this point, I also just didn't know, is he screaming because he's scared? Is he screaming because maybe they didn't inject him right? My son is in pain. Like, this child was screaming. But I think that when I would hold him, like, you know, and cover his face, and they are cutting, he wouldn't like cry corresponding. He would just scream and then be quiet and then scream. Like, I would see that noise because he's scared. And so because I was like on the top, by the top side, I could hear his heart, you guys. Like, I felt like my baby's heart was gonna beat out of his chest. Honestly, guys, it was the worst experience. And then obviously after that, they were done. I knew that coming home and having to take care of him, it was a nightmare. And I think that was the part that for me, I was also just not ready for. Number one, I'm scared, are we doing this the right way? Number two, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, what if something goes wrong? Guys, you have to soak, you know, his Winnie in warm water with salt, which he is screaming crazy. You have to, like, you know, bandage it up. So we always had to have a tape where we're gonna hold it and put it up, because it can't be down. They said it would swell. Taking care of a circumcised child is no joke. That's all I'm going to say. Like, seeing that process happening, I understood why men are the ones that actually go in there, not women. As women, like, you're not really prepared. If you're someone that wants to take your child to circumcision, ninja, if you're someone that is soft-hearted like me, get that child's uncle. Get your brother to go in there with your child. It will traumatize you. It's honestly a lot. And so taking care of him also was honestly a lot. I remember I was constantly having like breakdowns. I was just having breakdowns. And then also with him having to heal, I had to make sure that I was like, honestly, the lion that he has never ever seen, for him to soak in the water so that it cleans. And I have to clean, you know, you have to use a gauze. The moment he sees you just taking anything, he's starting to scream. Like, I constantly had to be holding a belt, like, I'm gonna beat you. And I had to be serious about it so that he believes me. And my son had never seen me like that, because I've never beat, like, I don't beat up Ray, because he's a child that listens. And so, you know, I remember like that time there was a day that I literally had to beat him. Like, the early stages, I had to like maybe give him like 2 with the belt. because he was not listening, you know. And obviously I knew that I have to make sure that I do this, so I definitely had to practice tough love, and that was at the highest level that I've ever had to. And so every time, like literally after I'm done, I would just run, go to the bedroom and throw myself on the bed and start crying. It was tough, like mentally that ish messed me up. And his mom was here, obviously she was also a bit scared to do that. My baby sister was also here, they were scared. I think I took care of him for like a week or two straight by myself, and then after that they just saw that mentally I was crashing. And so I'm really glad that my sisters, they did pick up and they took over, and they were the ones that now started, you know, to do the cleaning and the dipping, and I would just have to, like, you know, check. But again, they would use me as reference. They're like, do you want us to call Mamukulu? And so it's like, no matter what, I was still the bad guy. But guys, like, that was really honestly worse. With his healing, we did have a bit of a complication. So, you know, where there was a stitch, I think, so from what they said, when there was a stitch, you guys, we woke up and we realized that the whole part down had come out, and so it looked open. It was like scary. It was really honestly scary. He did not heal as quick, and obviously, as I'm saying, like, when that happened, I remember that morning when I woke up and we looked at him and he had an opening. Like, I remember we all ran to the car, drove to Senton. We were all crying in the car, like we were all crying. And when we got there, like, the nurse was like, no, it's normal, it happens. It means that he's holding his pee in for a long time, so obviously it does stretch. And so the skin down was stretching, because this is where they basically tuck and they, you know, sew. And so they were like, it's normal, he's actually healing good, you're doing a good job. The other kids that are not healing well, I don't know if they were just trying to make us feel better, but like, hearing that my son was quite further along in the healing process than other kids that he got circumcised with on that day, and that the wound was clean, I was like, okay, like, that gave us, you know, some reassurance. Then they prescribed, like, you know, a different thing, but again, this other thing that you use for your eyes, and that's what we started using, and he healed. But yeah, it did have to, it made him obviously go back to school late, because of, obviously, I had to make sure that he had healed, and I had to make sure that he went for the extra appointment before he went to Venda. I was very much paranoid even when he went to Venda, guys. Like, I was constantly calling to try and just find out, is he okay? Like, I was so scared he's gonna be going to school. Is he, yeah, guys, it's honestly just, I think, like, not that I think, if ever you know, I choose to have kids and I get a son, he's getting circumcised from birth. Like, that is me. I'm just not gonna go through what I went through with Ray. No. I think that day 8, I don't know which date they recommend, like, he's getting circumcised, and we're done with that, because that was really difficult. And so I think that maybe, obviously, since you guys had this was one of the video I'm about to show you guys, it was one of the most painful or difficult days I actually had to go through. I was frustrated, I was in pain, I felt like a failure, because I was like, how am I mentally not strong enough to actually handle this? It was honestly a lot. It was honestly a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, place that video here, and yeah, I think I'm gonna go. You guys did get, like, basically what was going on, and yeah, guys, like, some of you guys were even asking when I did a vlog on my other channel, and Ryan was walking around with a robe, and someone was like, I know exactly what that robe was for. Yeah, he did get circumcised, and, you know, thank God that, you know, we did it. Thank God he healed well. God has been great. I definitely needed my mom at that time. For some of you that do not know, my mom passed away, and so I just felt like everyone was looking up to me. My sisters are looking up to me to make sure that he's okay. He's also looking up to me to make sure that he's okay. I'm looking at myself like, I'm just a baby. I'm also just a baby. Like, Being the older sister, you guys, and motherless is crazy. It was honestly just crazy. But anyway, do go ahead and watch this video. It's a lot of crying, and we can talk about it and laugh now because everything is done, everything is fine. But yeah, from me, I mean, that's what I love you guys. Just watch this video and I'll see you guys for my next upload. Bye, ninjas. I feel like for the past almost 3 weeks, guys, I've been just fighting depression. Like, I'm fighting it high and low. Like, I'm doing my best to actually fight it, and some days it gets the better of me, and I can't even afford it. Like, I can't afford depression. I can't. And it's like, I do have someone in my life, but at the end of the day, you also don't want to burden someone. You know, he's super supportive, he's there for me completely, but sometimes there are certain things that someone cannot change. Even me, I can't change them. And it's like, mentally, when you're constantly down, that can also just mess up with your aura and also mess up with someone's aura. No one wants to constantly be around someone that's constantly down, depressed, crying, and whatever. I have Lebu, you guys know this. She's like my sister in everything, and she's also dealing with her own stuff. And at the same time, it's like, I can't be every day expecting people to just be there for me. I feel like I've also come to a realization that I legit am a bit spoiled in terms of people in my life. They will literally be there for me like nobody's business. But at the same time, I also just don't want to be like that, because I'm also an older sister. I'm a mom. I have to be there for my son. And so, guys, like, I don't know when I'm gonna post this, but so Ray got circumcised, guys, and you know, like, it's great. It's something that obviously has to happen. It's something that I'm really glad that, like, we were able to even afford to take him to a private clinic in Sandton. And he really honestly did get the best care. I won't even lie, like, they really did a good job. But my son is not used to pain. He's not used to pain at all. Ray is the only child that we have, so it's like he has 3 moms, and this is the first time that I've actually had to see my son, guys, in so much pain, and it's breaking me down. Like, at first I thought that I was gonna be able to be fine with this. Like, this was just gonna be something that, like, you know, we just do it and he goes in there, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna follow the procedure of everything that has to be done, that has to happen. But when you have to clean him, like, it's just constant screaming, and you know, I get frustrated at times. And I also have to understand that, like, he's in pain, but at the same time, it's like he's in physical pain, and for us it's like emotional pain. Like, as a mom, you just want to protect your child from any pain or anything. Like, we do our best to just make sure that Ray's provided for. If he needs something, you know, he's getting it. He is spoiled. I feel like I also did realize that, you know, he's spoiled, but at the same time, like, it's pain, it's physical pain. And like, how as a mom, how do you protect him or take that pain away from him? I just, like, this is just like, it's breaking me. Like, it's breaking me, guys. Like, it has been so tough. Like, it has been so tough. And you know, today, like, the stitches are starting to come out. So the first stitches came out today, and I think that he also saw that, and he also got scared. And I had to make sure that I'm cleaning, because if there's any pus or if there's any dead skin around, it prevents the healing from being fast, right? So you have to hurt him for him to get better. And like, it's just, the scripts are just so much, guys. Like, it's honestly like, if I knew it was gonna be this traumatic and this heavy emotionally for me, I wouldn't have him do it this side. I would have definitely had him just do it back home, and maybe it was gonna be with my aunt or my other sister, you know. And there's also this element of, as a mom, you feel guilty if you are like, I feel like maybe I should say as a single mom, because at the end of the day, Ray does not have a male figure that is a father in his life, you know. So when we went there, most of the children that were there, guys, like, they had their dads and their moms. Their moms were like in the car, and their dads were the ones that actually went in with them. And you could just see that, you know, they were not as scared, they were not screaming as much. And there was only my son and the other child that only came with moms, and they didn't have dads. So guys, if I get stressed, I actually get these wounds like this. My lips here, they crack, they get dry. It's usually stress, and it's because of what's going on. So if you see that, I'm sorry. But guys, when I tell you that out of all the kids that were there, the children that were screaming the most was my son and the son of that lady that came by herself. And you know, there was something in me that was like, maybe him not having a dad figure or a father figure in his life, is that also affecting? At the end of the day, I've never been circumcised because I'm a woman. So I'm like, am I doing it right? You know, sometimes a woman that has given birth physically is the one that can understand the pain that a woman that is giving birth physically feels, because she has experienced it. And so it's the same way that I just felt so guilty to say, maybe if there was a man, you know, if he had a father figure, then the person that knows how it is, the pain, maybe he would be more lenient, I don't know, or know how to handle him. Sometimes I don't know, like, am I being too soft with him? Am I being too hard with him? I don't know the pain. Guys, it's just so frustrating. I've just been dealing, I don't want to lie, like, I've been dealing. It has been so hard on me. Like, this is the first time that he has come, and I cannot wait for him to just go home, because I feel like, you know, like, at least mentally I'll take a break. And I know, like, you know, that's the advantage of him having many moms, but he can't go until he's like fully dried, you know, he can't. So next week schools are opening, he's not gonna go. They're still gonna be here until I see that he's okay. And I think that I also just want to make sure that, you know, he's fully okay. And I'm gonna take him to the last checkup before he leaves. So he has gone to 2 checkups already. They said that he's healing fine. At the clinic they did say that you know, he doesn't have to come back for checkup anymore, he's fine. But after, because next week they're opening, but he won't go, he will be here. I think by next week Friday he can be okay. Then I think next week Friday I'll just take him back so that they see and they tell me whether, if or not he's okay, can he go back to school. If not, then I'm gonna add an extra week for them to still be here. And obviously I'm gonna call the school to tell them like what is going on. But at the same time, guys, I won't lie, if you're a mom and you are a single mother, and you know your child is maybe at an age where he recognizes pain, if you're someone that deals with mental health issues, because I know we can't deal with the same situations the same way, please just make sure that you take that child to his uncle that you trust. You know, you can be visiting him and whatever, but let the uncle be the one that actually takes care of him, because it is so mentally daunting. It's so mentally daunting seeing your child in that much pain, guys, like especially that young. Like, I just can't do it anymore. Like, I really regret. I even called my aunt. I was like, you know, like, and a part of me thought of like now taking him home. It's like I'm like abandoning him or something. And I'm just having such a tough day today. I'm so emotional. And obviously, like, this is just coming from a place of when you love your child so much, you don't want to see them in pain, and at the same time you have to practice tough love with them, and that's also like just such a burden because he doesn't see you like that, because you also don't see him like that. So I'm just dealing, guys. I'm really just going through a lot. Man, I feel like all moms out there that have had to deal with what I'm dealing with will 1000% understand what I'm saying and what I'm talking about. And especially if you're a mom that also deals with mental health situations, then you know that, yeah, it's no child's play. It's super difficult. I don't know how many pizzas I've bought, how many burgers I've bought to buy this child. You know, if he says he's asking for this, like, I'm literally buying. I don't know how much I've spent. I won't lie. A lot of money. I'm just buying because I'm like, listen, at least when you're in this much pain, eat whatever you want, my child. But basically, that's what's going on, guys. Like, I feel like I just offloaded. So thank you guys so much for being my therapist. But yeah, if you are a mom that is just not like, you know, you are someone that you're not as strong mentally, don't get your child circumcised and stay with them and have to take care of the wound and everything. Trust me, that ish is no child's play. But if you're strong enough, then obviously there's no problem. And I know there are others that actually do it and they're fine, you know, but yeah, not for us. Anyway, guys, I love you. Stay blessed and I will see you.